morning, everyone. It's about 12:45, and I have my esteemed colleagues here from different organizations. Alok has given the brief introduction for us. And the topic that we're going to be talking about is changing paradigms of marketing and AI and digital transformation. I'm going to start off by, introducing, I'll start off with Amit here. For me personally, I have been a marketer for about 17 plus years now, and I have kind of worked with different organizations, different sectors, from manufacturing to telecom to now outsourcing and SaaS. And I have seen marketing change. I've been a conventional marketer, and then kind of been pushed into the digital marketing aspect of what we see marketing today as. And I'm sure everyone sitting here has had that journey because we've been around for a while, and we've started from there. And one of the key aspects of it has been the digital, how marketing has changed over the years and how slowly digital became a part of it. And now, we talk about AI being now one of the cornerstones. Maybe if we talk about 5 years down the line, it will be something that we won't be able to do without. That is my view. So I'm going to ask my colleagues here. Amit, so I have this question for you. You are right now in HR tech domain, and how have you seen this, journey that you have had on digital transformation and to your target audiences, and how has that changed over the years? Where do you see the advent of AI in your space? What are, okay, I will ask another question, later, once you do answer that.
Okay, now before I answer that question, let me ask a question of the audience. What do you think Starbucks sells? Starbucks doesn't sell coffee beans. Starbucks doesn't sell coffee. Starbucks sells experience. Now, why I bring this up is because that's how the transition of marketing, or rather business, has changed, right? Today you watch Netflix. While you are consuming the content, us marketers are leveraging AI to decide what you will see next, right? The world has moved with the advent of technology from knowing that experience is important to personalization, where, according to S&P index, brands who focus on personalization are able to charge 33% premium on any category from the customers. From there, the world has moved to customer journeys. Now we have a better understanding of how customers move as an animal through your website, through stores, through different markets, through countries, and how we can influence the journey and create an omnichannel experience. And then it has moved to now Pandora's box of possibilities. I'll bring the AI thing first. So, how many of you know what is the difference between AI and Gen AI? Gen AI.
Interesting question.
Why I bring that up, I'll come to that later. But how many of you do know what the difference is? Don't Google it.
Can I raise my hand?
So AI has always been there. I was just giving an example to her about 11 years back when I launched India's first educational tablet. It already had AI in it. It was a simple app called Wolfram Alpha. I mean, from a point of view, it is AI. Because it has already, so just to answer that, the difference between AI and Gen AI is AI recognizes patterns. Gen AI creates patterns. AI is dependent on the natural language, the NLP language in which you train it. Gen AI uses whatever the user's inputs are, observes it, and creates new content. So one is more towards being able to predict. The other one is actually execution. Now to come back to the Pandora's box. I'll talk about the good here, because otherwise it will be another totally different panel discussion. From predictive analysis, where I can predict what this audience would like to hear next from my mouth, if you had a voting button to train the AI, I could formulate the next sentence that come out from my mouth. I could predict if this was a paid event, what would be the ticket sales be next year based on data? I could personalize everything about this conference the next time you attended based on what your feedback was and how engaged you were through facial and voice recognition. AI is today not only personalizing the experience, creating behavioral models, have the ability to predict what is going to happen next, but is also teaching humans how to be more emotional by recognizing those patterns. Marketing has, I can go on and on. Then we come to chatbots. Then we come to models where AI could help you orchestrate your marketing operations, right? So let's say there's a backdrop, right? I see how many, through a camera, I can see how many people are actually looking at it and which areas. And the next year, this backdrop would be more relevant information right in front of your eyes.
That's really great, Amit. What I would want to ask you is that and I will come to Deena after that. What is the application of AI that you see? Although this conversation is about changing, paradigms of marketing, and how would you see that affecting your product? Let's say 5 years down the line. I mean, how would you incorporate that, market that thing? Yes, in the product.
Okay. So we already have incorporated in the product.
Oh, great.
So I don't know, when you were using it, there was something called Genie,
Yes.
the chatbot.
Yeah.
Now the chatbot is sideline.
Okay.
The new rockstar is, now imagine, I don't know if there are any HR folks here. We're an HR tech company. So the recruiter on an average, right? If you ask 10 recruiters, do you know this job description that you're going to hire? They won't.
Yeah.
They'll go back to the business and then wait 2 weeks for the job description to get from them. 10 seconds is what it takes from the product now.
Wow.
Somebody joins new, right? The AI can now facilitate his onboarding completely digitally. Hi, welcome, watch these videos, this is the company brand book, and here are your managers and your entire team, please meet them.
So that must have been a great, learning for you to target that message to these HR managers and
Yes.
CHROs,
Yes.
so that they can obviously incorporate this.
So there are, again, now, I don't want to go into too much detail,
Yeah.
but let's take one use case, which is the website.
Before that, I just have a question for you. What is your, most challenging communication to a set of HROs who you had to, kind of market this to? And, how did you kind of go about convincing them? Because there are obviously people who would not.
I didn't have to.
You didn't?
I didn't have to. The whole world was talking about Gen AI. You're talking about Gen AI, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
The whole world was talking about Gen AI. We launched it 2 months back at the biggest HR tech event
Okay.
in India, which is Tech HR.
Okay.
My CEO gave the keynote. My marketing team relaxed for the next 2 months because we had 200 CHROs already requesting the demo for that. But just in case we were not able to create that hype, all I had to do was say 5 things. 1, your recruiters will be able to hire at least 5x faster. Your employees would be, their talent would be developed at least 30 times fast, 3x faster. You would be saving a lot of cost creating content because now Gen AI is creating content for you. Now imagine what the CHRO is thinking. He's saving cost, he's saving manpower, he's saving money, and he gets to be the rock star in the CEO's eyes, which he wants to.
Great. So Anushri, my next question is to you because you're in the related space, you're in the platform business. So how is it that, you've seen this change of kind of messaging towards your target? How has it changed over the years of you kind of formulating that message and knowing that pain point of your customer? So probably now everyone talks about products being as solutions or platforms being platform as a solution, for example. So how has that journey been for you, and what were your key learnings out of that? Because you're completely into a platform, you're into a PaaS model service, right? If I understood it correctly.
Sure. Am I audible, first of all? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Karuna, for the question. And hi, everybody. Warm welcome to the panel talk. And I believe that we'll have an interesting talk today. So let me take you back to 18, 20 years, back when the marketing was done just with the hoarding and, some or the other flyers were there and all those things. After that, there came an era where it was all digitalization. Now we have all the information in our fingertips through our mobile phones, through the app. We all have those information and we are the informed buyers. So what about our buyers? Definitely they are also informed. So completely this is an era of digitalization. People will buy from you once they have confidence in you, once they have trust in you. So definitely this is a major change. And now if you ask me about the messaging, the first change which I'm seeing is personalization. Even if you, let me give you a common example, not from the IT, just from the common example of Netflix and Spotify. Netflix and Spotify recommend you based on your choice, your behavior, your things which you do, your interest. So they tell you, okay, now you have watched this, like Stranger Things you have watched, now you watch this thing. Same with Spotify. This is a major change. Personalization.
That's obviously, yes.
Yeah, the
ML
personalization.
that's machine learning at play, right?
So, messaging as per the personalization. What interest is there in my buyer? What they are looking for? How is their intent of buying? This is all with what we are doing right
So
now.
I just have one question for you, and then I move to Deena and then Rajesh.
Yeah.
So the question is, there is no one stakeholder or decision maker. There would be one purchaser for sure, but there are influencers, and everyone in that journey, in that funnel, may not have the same problem, right? So when I talk about communicating that, communication to these certain different touch points where people who would be users, people who would be influencers. So how do you formulate that messaging to these, guys? Because I'm sure earlier it was definitely different, and this is one of the big changes where, a B2B organization or a SaaS or a PaaS organization like yours would think, how would you influence the decision of these different touch points, in that particular buying journey? Because these buying cycles are long, right?
Yeah.
So how does that kind of...
For us, definitely, there are set of influencers because B2B is not just buying a decision by one person or individual. You have to actually reach many people in that buying journey, maybe more than 5-10 people around sometimes. So definitely the sales cycle or the decision process is huge. But what we follow is IDA model. If you're aware about it, awareness, interest, consideration. And we make sure that from all the touch points, wherever the buyer is, whoever the influencer is, knows us. First touch point for that is digital, definitely. The website, wherever they are searching. Because definitely CHROs also read, their people, director, VP, they read different kind of stuff. Maybe somebody read white paper because they are on a higher level. They like to go in depth and read. So we give those kind of content material to those people. Some people who may become the influencer, like maybe the manager level people, we touch them through social media. So we actually don't leave any stone unturned.
Any channel
So
untouched.
it's all omni-channel integrated marketing, and that works for us. Yeah.
Great. Deena, that brings me to you. You are in the content business, if I may say so. So, Amit was having a discussion with us, and here, Amit, you may have an answer from Deena that there is no business in India, no content business in India which is profitable. E-learning. Sorry, that was e-learning. Yeah. So, we know Cactus is one of the biggest, organizations dealing with content and communication. So, for you, what has been? I have heard of Cactus, but Cactus is may not be very well known in India. So, first, is India your market though?
So, hi, good afternoon. Cactus as an organization works for higher academia. So anybody pursuing master's, PhD, that's the clientele. If you want to know how many clients will I have, less than 1 crore globally. That's it. Are we known in India? If you check the IITs, yes.
Yeah.
If you check ISC, yes. TIFR, yes. Indian Institute of Sciences, yes. the top 500 science and social science institutes, Ashoka, Manipal, the ones who are interested in research, they would be aware of us. So yes, none of you would have heard of us because we are never targeting any one of you who's not planning to pursue beyond your masters. So when we talk about content, now this is for a very limited audience. Let me simplify it. I'm talking to Rolls-Royce buyers. So now you know the handful of members I'm talking to globally. And each one of them has a different, so to say, personalized, the way we are talking about personalized decision making, which involves learning, accepting, understanding, and finally implementing, which is implementation is your buying decision. And these are very intelligent audience. I am talking to scientists, the ones who work behind COVID. So imagine them being convinced, हमारे पास एक product है, आपको ये खरीदना है, ये आपके लिए life इतनी simple कर देगी. That's the conversation you would think, but that's not the case.
That I'm sure will not work.
So
Yeah.
it has to have a far more wider thought funnel, which allows us to understand why will this person buy us. I'm simplifying it for the simple reason that the cohort I'm talking about thinks very uniquely.
Unique, yeah.
So our largest markets are Japan, US, Germany, France, and UK. We don't exist in India because the number of researchers coming out of India are very few. But amongst the researchers, we are pretty well known. In terms of content communication, so we work with AI. So that's the good part.
Nice.
We work with AI as well as in algorithms, machine learning,
Yeah.
as well as GenAI. So, so the aspect which we use actively is something called ethical AI.
Very, very important.
So while you're personalizing, so you would be signing up yourself on various platforms with
Yeah.
your mobile number, your email ID, sometimes your PIN code, right? You're giving out your personal details. If you use AI intelligently, it allows you to do ethical, to have ethical practices, which in India it doesn't follow so much. You know, anybody can send you an email. Internationally, there's something called GDPR.
GDPR, yeah.
So you cannot just send an
You're
email to anyone who has not signed up
Yeah.
or saved your details. So since the requirements are so stringent, you have to be able to work with ethical practices. Hence, AI plays a very
Important
crucial
role
role
there.
So
Okay.
that's where information dissemination becomes easier for us, I would say, because it works on that kind of predictability.
So you are obviously are a content marketer, if I may call you that. How has the marketing journey for you been in this space? Because I'm a marketer whose content is a part of my everyday, but you are focused on content. So likewise for everyone, they're not focused on content. Content is a very important part of our it's the backbone of marketing basically. So how has this journey been for you, and how has digital transformation in this space? So there are there are platforms like Pepper Content, right? You are? Okay, there's Pepper Content. There's a PR platform called Viziki, right? So, yeah. Akrit is haptic, yaar. Viziki is Vandit. Viziki is Vandit. Akriti, okay. Sorry, I thought Akrit. Haptic, sorry guys, this is networking happening in real time. Anyway, so this was my question to you that, how have you kind of gone about marketing yourselves to an international
So you would
market?
think
And-
India is a tough market.
No, I'm not saying India is a tough
So I'm
market.
just trying
sure.
to,
I mean,
like,
I
why-
market to Africa, yeah, of all the
No, no, so
places.
the
so
reason I said
there are
because
tougher
India
places.
has 26 languages.
Yeah.
So Gen AI or AI working for 26 languages is still not happening, right?
Yeah,
Just-
it's
just
not.
about
It's
two or
not.
three.
It's not. Yes.
A tougher market is Japan.
Oh yes, I've heard.
Extremely
tough.
traditional.
Yeah.
Irrespective of all the kinds of digital marketing you have, they will still expect you to follow very
Conventional.
simple, yes,
Show
very-
up with a brochure, convince them, right? Yes. Yeah.
You have to be there on their front desk with a brochure, hello, arigato, da, 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 everything. Everything, yes. So, but the good part of that is they still believe in human interaction. Now take that
Yeah,
and
and-
convert that also into AI. Look at how AI can help you build emotional conversations. Not the chatbot conversation, which is FAQ-led, but a very emotional conversation. Somebody's on your lead pipeline and is actually asking you questions. Is asking you tough questions related to funding hai ki nahi, will I get it? So how much of this can I pay now? Once my scholarship comes in, once my fund comes in, I can pay. They're asking technical questions. The AI can say, okay, 6% you can pay now, 20%. Or we would like to understand how is it that you want to pay? So very emotional behavior being manifested by machines, doing the job for you when you cannot physically or in person, on phone be there. So there are cultures which will demand this, and you may not be able to provide it, but technology today can. So the emotional response mechanism is what we use.
I was actually, Amit and I, we were having a heated discussion. When one call it heated, okay, we were having a very passionate discussion about exactly this. So I am of the belief, like you said, that AI, if we train it properly, the ML algos is capable of emulating a human being and giving human answers. And I have a Flow app for an example, right? So if you use a chatbot, Flow app is, by the way, an app for women to track their menstrual cycles, and there is a chatbot inbuilt, and it gives very empathetic answers, to me at least. That's what I feel is empathy displayed by a machine. So, well, it's a bit easier for men, yeah. That's a different discussion, Amit. Okay, let me come to you, Rajesh. So you are into a product led business, right? And you do something which is very interesting, and you're marketing your product to the rural audience, while the whole world is talking about the spending power is where at the top of the pyramid. But I guess you are right now targeting the bottom of the pyramid. I mean, I shouldn't say bottom of the pyramid, but the rural audience of this country, which forms about 70% of the population, if I'm not wrong. And you have this very unique product offering, where you have announcement systems, if I've understood it correctly, at bus stations, and you are present in 8 states. So what is very interesting to know, what has been, what would I think audience also would love to know, how have you marketed to the rural audience? Actually, it's not rural audience, your audiences have been the governments, right? Small town administrations, municipalities. Yes. So why don't you just tell us about this wonderful journey and how you have experienced marketing to this audience?
Yeah. So
And
first,
a mix of digital and probably it's mostly digital, I think, which people may not.
so
think
I'm an
that-
odd man out here.
Oh no,
There's
no,
a lot of AI guys, but yes, just to tell about before getting into the organization, I just want to touch upon 2 things before getting into the organization, what we're doing. See, one big change in the landscape which I am finding today is earlier marketing definition was pretty simple. Now marketing is becoming more exciting and far more challenging also, because there are many students sitting here, and it's exciting times for all of us, because earlier we used to say that, we talk about taking a product, taking it to right TG with right communication at the right place, right time. Simple parameters were there. Traditional marketing used to work on that. Now with AI coming in, we have 2 more parameters, the quickest possible time and in most cost-effective manner, okay? And with a challenge that you are going to be in a cluttered market, ad clutter market. How do you make your customer notice you? And this challenge is what I think everybody is faced with. And given this challenge, we are also in that rural space where phenomenal dialects, I don't know how many dialects are there in India, languages and dialects, So getting your communication going to your rural TG or to your TG is, and in a personalized manner, I think Karuna was also talking, personalization is very important. So everyone is focused on getting personal communication going on, okay? This was the backdrop, okay, on which the foundation of our company was put way back in 2008-9, and this is the media vertical of ours. We are into 3 lines of business, out of it the media vertical, which I want to talk. We pioneered something called Audio Wala Bus Stand. Now, Audio Wala Bus Stand is a medium which is helping brands reach small town and rural market in a big way. We work with practically all segments across FMCG, consumer durable, insurance, banking, agri-tech, ed-tech. The amazing part of this medium is we have taken technology, okay, and interfaced the communication in such a way that it becomes easier for a brand to communicate to the rural audience, which is very difficult to reach. There are umpteen number of ways today, you can reach your TV, radio, print, and you have digital. And digital is there, all pervasive for rural. But still, most important is how do I get my communication in a very simple and easy way to connect with them and get them with a call to action so that you get results. So what we have done is we tied up with state transport and put up a passenger information system for them on a built operate basis. And we run ads in between these announcements. And this is happening in 8 states. The real challenge earlier was manual announcements used to happen. I don't know whether you would have watched movies and all. आज का पेपर पढ़ा क्या आज की ताज़ा खबर people used to shout and sell products, and what we have done is we have brought that into an automated mode. We automated the entire announcement system and we got into a revenue model by selling advertisements in between these announcements, okay? And this is using technology, and that's where the difference is. We have embraced technology and we have created a lot of innovations there, okay? Today, practically, earlier it was only a one-way traffic, communication happening, a mass medium reaching out to multiple people. Today, we have brought control into this medium in a big time. You can listen to the bus stand live. A brand manager sitting at office can listen to the bus stand live. What is happening, to technology, and this is all through mobile. I mean, you can connect to a bus stand and listen. Second, what we have done is we have converted the bus stand into a geofence mode. 500 meter within that, he can actually see the ad. What he is hearing on the bus station, same on the announcement system, he can see on his mobile. On Facebook, Google, all apps, can be targeted. Again, through a geo reach. This is an integrated approach which we have brought in. So what we have taken is a transit communication or transit advertising to a next level, because that is where the rural people are easily accessible. Today we are reaching almost 1.36 crore people every single day. I mean, that's the kind of reach which we have brought in 8 states. So it has got communication, engagement, and experience all happening at one go. And I mean, we have created innovative models over there to even control this entire process with apps given to the sales team to control the operations and manage. And everywhere, AI and technology embedding into the applications are also very much there. And there are a lot of interesting things we can catch up one-to-one and talk. But I think everywhere...
You can't do without AI.
Yeah.
That's what I got from, with your conclusion. All right.
I would like to add,
sure.
see what I feel with all our discussion just now, and, would like to add one more thing. The main change which I feel, like traditional and then now technology, marketing and all that, I feel 3 aspects are there. First is personalization, definitely that is there. Second is real-time analytics. Like now we can monitor the campaigns in real time. There are a lot of things changing in real time.
Totally.
And if you are not doing those things, if not adopting to those changes in real time, what your customer is looking for, I think you're lost. Because there's so much competition. No, this is like, everybody is there. There is so much noise. How will you differentiate? So this real-time analytics actually help you. And the third one, which I feel is experimentation, which we call A/B testing. And that also we do live. So these 3 aspects, which was not there in traditional marketing, is now there in modern marketing.
Absolutely.
And this is the base. Actually.
Thank you for saying that, because, we as marketeers do this day in and day out, and we think, this is something, which is a norm. But obviously, for the benefit of the audience and for them to understand how has marketing changed. So also it's, sure, please.
So one benefit, I don't know if you notice, the technologies which you will love are the ones which are invisible.
Yes, I agree with you.
So you would appreciate the ones which is seamlessly working around you. Like, for example, the technology which he mentioned that they launched, and 200 CHROs jumped because they realized it will be a very seamless, invisible technology, not something where actively you're putting in hours to work. So the role is to save time and
Correct.
to give you that time to do something more.
Yeah.
And like the technology which he mentioned, that it has a geofencing. So the advertiser is not just looking at the point of sale or the point
Yeah.
of communication, but has a much larger ring
The whole ecosystem that
which works.
everything
So
else, yeah.
I think that seamlessness is what is expected from anything, whether it's AI or whether it is the next biggest revolution.
Yeah.
It's a very seamless, movement of technology into our lives without disrupting many things. I remember ChatGPT, by the way, disrupted our whole organization.
I'm sure you would have
Yeah.
gotten scared, right?
We were
Last
like-
year, November,
yeah,
gaye, khatam.
Bas, band. We don't need editors, we don't. But then
But
we
then you
realized,
dabble with it and you realize
we
it's a
will
very
adopt
generic
it,
kind of a
we'll
thing.
better it,
So, yeah.
and use it,
Obviously, huh.
in a way. So the more you are embracing it
Yeah.
and endorsing it and learning it,
Definitely.
the better.
It's been a boon for sure
Yes.
for marketeers like us, surely. But the thing is that there's that human touch which will always be there. I mean, I don't deny that. Everything is not going to AI, Amit, I promise. So, no, and I agree with you there. I agree with you.
What Amit's point. So when e-commerce was launched, I remember there was this big
Yes.
argument.
Good
That point in
example.
time,
What a good
everybody would
example.
say, you can't buy shoes online because
Yeah.
unless you wear it, you put your
Yeah,
foot
yeah,
in it
yeah.
and all of that. You do buy shoes online right now,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
Online, wearing the
But
ones that I
have
bought
shoe
online.
stores shut down? Bookstores have.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yes.
But have shoe stores?
No.
They haven't.
Yeah.
Because like he said, Starbucks sells experience.
Yeah.
Shoe stores sell an experience. Fashion is an experience. So they're very different things.
That is a balle for marketeers anyway.
Before that also, even I was part of that computer revolution beginning 93, 94, when computers were actually taking shape.
Yeah.
So people were, I was an engineer background, so I mean, we knew some things were happening and but we look at, in general, whatever discussions used to happen at people at large it's computers will take over jobs. Okay, I mean, so
This narrative has been there for a while.
Yeah.
Computers came and they took our jobs. They will take our jobs. Now AI will take our job. E-commerce will kill retail.
Every year, and just go back on LinkedIn. No, forget about everywhere else. Go back on LinkedIn. Every year, there's email is dead.
By the
Blogs are
way,
dead.
it's the most successful channel for me personally.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
my,
that's
you know,
true.
my average open rate is 25%.
Wow.
Email. I'm not kidding.
14% industry average.
Mine is 25% for the continuously for the last 1.5 years.
So every year, when there is, so historically, whenever there has been a disruption, there has been panic. You know, at the end of the day, what will happen? AI will market products to AI. If there's no human
Nahi,
left. Yeah, understand what I'm trying to say. Understand what I'm trying to say. If the patterns, so nobody can deny here that AI is influencing how we consume things.
Of course we
Right?
do. What is the suggestions that you see in Amazon?
Exactly, right?
Frequently buy.
So-
it's a display of ML.
So the more this happens, we will start behaving more on an auto mode. Do you agree?
Fair enough, but it'll save you time, right?
No, I'm coming to the point. So in a nutshell, it's AI selling to AI, right? It can never happen.
No.
Not till the humans exist. And the best part of this is the best representation of AI. If you would want to see what the future of AI could be, it is a human. You can never take the human out of the AI. Our jobs are safe. We'll just find newer ways to make more money. We're not going anywhere.
I agree. In fact, one of the newest jobs that is coming in is becoming a prompt engineer. Yeah? So you become a prompt engineer and bingo, like you're there. And content marketing ke liye, it'd be amazing. Anyway, so it was great to hear all of you, and we've had different views on AI, digital transformation and marketing, changing how marketing has changed over the years. So I would like to close this session, and we are open for questions. If you guys have any questions, we'd love to, answer those for you.
When we were launching the AI, one of the campaigns, especially for West, there were two different versions, one for North, one for West. So we wanted to make something which everybody recognizes. So the caption was, can you do fill in the blanks? And niche tha, I Shapat. We never launched it because the management said, what? B2C.
While we are on AI, I'll take 30 seconds, Alok. So I'll just tell you very, very important, learning that I had yesterday here. I was talking to Bharatesh from Digitas, and, we worked in my previous organization together, and they were our social media agency. And he was saying that Alan Solly was his client, and they had printed a hoarding in Bangalore which said Alan Solly and coming soon ka spelling galat tha. So there was some influencer walking and he clicked a picture, some big investor influencer. He clicked a picture and he tweeted it. Ki matlab, how can Alan Solly write, coming soon wrong? It's on a hoarding, that too. So he's like, this is a big fiasco. So, what we thought was, the idea that clicked them was, he asked one of his guys to write, we will not write coming soon incorrectly in future 20 times. Clicked a picture of that and tweeted it, tagging this guy. So this was a fantastic moment thing and something that AI can never do. So, yeah.
So Flipkart did something very interesting. They purposely wrote something like this thing contains a hidden message. There was no hidden message. They just wanted to make sure that the OTS goes high.
So, I don't think AI is there yet because creativity, so we're good.
Today morning while coming, I heard, it was news in the radio that Mumbai traffic, in particularly the long distance traffic, over the route from Mumbai to Nashik, they're going to implement AI for traffic management and catching older people who are breaking rules.
I hope we have lesser accidents on that highway. It's a horrible highway.
So, what other part is using it as
in a positive manner.
Just looking at, bringing about changes in the entire ecosystem. I could see that, it's going to evolve in a big way. It's not just going to be looking at,
Agree, the applications, as you say,
Correct.
are immense.
Correct.
But also, so for us to feel a little better, we would like to believe that AI can't be that creative as, conceptualizing something like, I will not write coming soon raw, incorrectly.
One
So,
thing what
something
I
like
would
that.
like to mention, because it's very young crowd out here. So, see, I always feel that this AI or Gen AI kind of genie is out of the bottle. Now you have to accept it. You have to up your game. Don't get scared of it, but it's just use it like a complimentary thing. It will complement. It will help you out. So it's all about how do you use it. But definitely this genie is out.
Yes, that is. Thank you so much. So, all right. Over to Alok.
Through content marketing and everything. So as sir also said, they are targeting the locals in the rural, into the bus stand to be precise. But when someone catching the bus, they won't be able to hear the ads at much concentration and everything. And even when we scroll the Instagram feed, we don't really buy the stuffs from that click. Even we buy to go to that funnel buying purchase, but we may not convert that click into the sales. So what's your view on this?
Yeah, hello, hi. So I think you hit the nail. But what we have done, we are targeting the long distance buses, state transport buses. Okay. Now state transport buses average waiting time is about half an hour. Okay. So suppose you want to travel from Mumbai to Nagpur. Okay. You take the overnight buses in the evening. And these are all. We talk about. Reaching out to tier 2 and tier 3 places, and people travel for 8 hours. So you go much before, and the waiting time is about half an hour. And what we do is we keep communicating, and media's job is to create awareness. And if there is a call to action, if a communication is interesting, there will be a call to action. If you're giving a good offer during Diwali or a Ganesh Chaturthi, when the travel goes up, and people travel to small town and rural in a big way. Okay, urban to rural and rural to urban. You are actually reaching out to your TG. So communication happening in local language, contextual, and you have no remote in your hands. People are going to listen to you. Now, if you're going to make it interesting for them, they're going to buy. Okay, so a lot of offers are there and brands come out with interesting offers. The auto sector has used it very interestingly. Agriculture sector has used it very interestingly. Now, I was also adding to that is, people, if they're interested, excited, they can see on their mobile also. And that's why they can go to engage. Okay. And engaging on the mobile will help you get ROI for a brand, and you're going to get inquiries. Okay. So, hero wanting to advertise can communicate, then engage and give experience, and people from village also putting inquiries over there. Okay. And this is possible. And these are all realistic, and this kind of media is there since 2008. And it's continuously evolving and helping the brands to get the ROI.
Are you a marketing student? Do you know about moments of truth? So you said something about, I'm scrolling Instagram, but I'm not buying. You eventually will, based on 3 things. 1, who's selling it? Like, you might not buy it through the Instagram ad. The customer journey is never linear. So if I were to advertise, say, a phone to you, you see it on Instagram, that builds your recognition. You've seen it. Then you see a hoarding, and you notice it. Then you go to Flipkart, and you see a offer. And then your sister calls you up and says, yaar, ye phone bada mast hai, and that's when you buy it. That's your moment of truth.
Oh, interesting thing it just came to my mind. It took Nestle 40 years to break in Japan, to change their morning tea habits, switch over to coffee. It took a whole generation for Nestle, but they were at it, and they recruited a psychologist to study the habits of Japanese people in the morning. And eventually, you have morning beverages, coffee in Japan now as a preferred beverage. So what Amit said, I concur. It's much lesser time now, thanks to Instagram and the generation like yours and ours, which are on social media, so yeah. Any other question?
A wonderful panel session. Well, I don't want to add to the debate of AI versus human, but again, we can't ignore the storming happening in Silicon Valley because of Q-Star and Sam Altman.
He's back at OpenAI now. Ab kya
Yeah,
storm?
he is. No, the storming in a sense, the generic intelligence, So when Adina ma'am talked about making artificial intelligence more emotional, at the same time, we cannot ignore the consequences or the ethical part. But again, don't want to get into it. My question is particular to you about ethical use of AI into research and education, and what frameworks possibly you are using and can be used.
Fantastic question. And
So,
this will be our last question for this panel, right? Please go ahead.
So, ethical use actually for researchers is plagiarism. So, a lot of content, let's say if you tell ChatGPT, write a paper on neurobiology aiming at stem cells, repairing for diabetes. It'll write a 5,000-word paper. But what is it doing at the back end? It's actually collecting a lot of information already published. Whether it's in a preprint or it's in a journal, it's already there. Pulls it, mixes it, makes some sense out of it, and puts it out for you. Where does ethical AI come in? Ethical AI gives you prompts. So we have we have a technology called PaperPal, which sits as a widget on Word document. So when you're writing your paper, it gives you certain prompts which says, you have created this paragraph, you are probably trying to say X. Why don't you say it this way? X becomes better. So the AI is enhancing and not plagiarizing for you. You can use AI for plagiarized content. You don't need AI. You have editors who will write plagiarized content for you. China, most research was happening on plagiarized content. And even in India, there's a lot of content coming out in research which was said to be plagiarized. Because there were other editors writing for you. So you don't need AI for that. So ethics is something which you built in as a part of your technology. More so, you also look at AI being able to complement and improve upon. See, English is our first language as a country, but when you write, I'm sure you find it difficult, right? Talking is easier than writing. An email, I want it to be impactful. Her open rate is 25%. I know her subject line does the trick. That's the magic. That's when you move to the next. So she has probably thought through that over years on how to be very word efficient about it. So coming to the fact that you want it to be ethical means you want it to be original. So AI has to maintain the originality. on that aspect for the researcher without taking away the consequence. The other thing is that now AI works with plagiarism tools together. So even once AI has worked on a paper, so you've written the whole paper, which is almost like 2,000 to 3,000, up to 5,000 words, AI runs, improves, and it also runs a plagiarism check at the back end, so that when you get the output, it's an original output. So you're still using to create my paper, not AI paper. You still want the my, like the human quotient versus the emotional quotient. Emotional quotient is very different. Human quotient, safeguard that. That's the individual, individuality which you want to keep, whether it is creativity, whether it's paper, research. That's where it does.
Dina, what
But there is an AI for humanizing the content also, undetectable.
One
so
more
we are
thing
there
which
also.
I feel is biasness. That is also very important, biasness. Like, how do you remove that biasness? Because it's all about data.
Corrected and then human.
Right? Whatever data you're feeding to the algorithm, it's giving you that. So one very much important thing, which I think it's an improvement area for people, for data scientists and all, is how do you make your